So whenever you're ready, feel free to make your way on down. We are going to be on our backs with a yoga block, the narrow way right in between the thighs. So like right around there, in the narrow angle of it. And then you can come on down. And then feel free to stretch, wiggle, move around in any area that feels good to you. Start to transition into your time on your mat this morning, letting the body get settled, maybe gently rocking the head a bit from side to side, or circling the wrists a few times. Okay, and then we're gonna settle in with hands on the lower ribs, and then feet flat on the mat. Gonna start out just by noticing your natural breath this morning. So not really changing anything. We are holding the block, but other than that, just start to notice how the breath is flowing. Is it fast or slow? Is it feeling expansive or on the more shallow side? Is it coming to you easy, or is it feeling hard to breathe? Anything like that, just kind of noticing the quality of your breath. Okay, so then after your next, or as you exhale, right? So you can take a breath in, fill up. Then as you exhale, hug the yoga block. So that's gonna get pelvic floor, inner thighs, low belly muscles, and your rib cage to compress inward. So we want all of those things to draw in. Hold some tension in the obliques and in the belly. Don't let it go, and then breathe in. And then exhale, hug the block. So the belly will still rise a little bit, but not as much as it was naturally or on those first few breaths. So you're exhaling. Really think of these side core muscles staying a little bit active. And then when you breathe in, the air, the expansion is going to go elsewhere. It's going to go in your sides and your back. And then exhale, hug the block. So go for one more like that. Great. Then you can just glide your hands down so that you have one hand on each hip bone. Now, on an exhale, hover your left foot 1 inch off the ground. Keep a little bit of tension in your core. Inhale, bring the left foot down. Exhale, hover the right foot 1 inch off the ground. So we're alternating hovers. Inhale, foot down. Exhale, foot up. Inhale down. Exhale up. Good. Trying to maintain some tension in the core, not letting the belly rise too much. We're trying to direct the pressure in the air elsewhere. A lot of us are already very good at belly breathing. It's where we tend to breathe. So we want to get other parts of our rib cage, our trunk, some expansion. That's the idea. Good. So then after a few of those hovers, both feet will come down and you're extending your left leg straight ahead. Yep, and then circle this left ankle 4 times, nice and slow in each direction. Try not to lead with the toes. Try to initiate the circle with your ankle. Good. And then the left foot will come down and extend the right leg straight ahead. And we'll do 4 in each direction with the right. Yeah, they're pretty slow. Nice. And then you'll bring the right foot down. Arms will go out into a T. We'll do that tug of war thing where you just imagine someone was pulling your hands apart in opposite directions, just for a nice like inner arm line stretch. Yeah, just for a second or two, and then you'll go ahead and lift your knees halfway up. And I would say the yoga block is now more like even closer to the knees. Yeah, and it's still that narrow way. We're flexing the ankles, pulling the toes towards your face, and then hug the yoga block with the inner thighs and the knees, and then move your feet in opposite directions. So your feet move away from each other. Your left foot goes to the left, your right foot goes to the right. This moves your hips into internal rotation. Then just tap your toes together. So they internally rotate, the feet move away from each other. See what that feels like in the hips. And then the feet come and tap. See what that feels like. They move away from each other. Yeah. And then they tap. Good. Do like 2 or 3 more like that. And then go back to the internal rotation. So knees in, feet out. You're gonna breathe in and bring your knees a little closer to your face, any amount. Exhale, reach them a bit away from you. Inhale, knees in. Exhale, knees out, still hugging that block. Yeah, if at any point you feel like you need a little bit of a rest, you can always put the feet down. Try to keep the face relaxed. Okay, so we're doing kind of like a leg press in internal rotation of the hips on our back. So you got to keep hugging that block so you don't lose it, especially when the legs go away from you. Good. Inhale, the knees come in. Exhale, the knees go out. Nice job. Okay, lose the yoga block. Take the feet as wide as the mat, and we'll windshield wiper the knees from side to side. So when the knees go to the left, our gaze goes to the right, and the knees go to the right, gaze goes to the left. Nice. That was some nice inner thigh and core. And then we're going to transition into more like hamstring, glute, warming up. So at first, we're just going to do like an isometric on each side, and then we're going to do some hamstring sliding today. So to start, just bring your right foot to the ground and your left knee in towards your chest. Okay, yeah. And then you're gonna push into your right foot and lift your hips up a little bit and scoot your pelvis under you. So think belt buckle turns towards your face. And then you can either have your elbows down or reach your arms up, whichever one you prefer. Drag your right heel towards your butt and take 5 breaths. So we're just holding, breathing, and connecting here. Okay. Trying to maintain good core tension. Nice job. And then after 5 breaths, just lift your right heel and drop your right heel. Okay, it doesn't have to lift very much, just the heel moving up and down. It's going to get a little bit more into the calf. Keep your pelvis tucked under you. Keep that face relaxed. Beautiful. And then bring those hips down. You can bring the left foot down, open the arms, we'll windshield wiper, reset. Awesome. And then we got feet back on the ground, right knee in towards your chest, left foot's down. You're going to push your left foot into your mat, lift the pelvis, and then tuck your pelvis under. Once it's up, it's not very high. Now start to drag that left heel towards your sits bones. Arms can be up or down. And we got 5 good breaths here. Try to keep that dragging action of the heel. And then we're gonna go up and down with the left heel for some heel raises, staying tucked in that pelvis. Good job. Beautiful. And then hips down, knees in. Let's do some bigger hip knee circles here. So you can kind of pull the legs apart, find maybe an inner thigh stretch, draw the knees together. Good. We'll do like 4 or 5 in one direction and then 4 or 5 in the other direction. Beautiful. And then we'll transition into our slider. So you can grab your blanket, your towel, your paper plates, whatever you're using. Make a little space. And we'll start, we'll go 2 legs at first. We'll do bilateral and then we'll switch. Let's go heels on your slider. We'll go heels on, but we'll go right into lifting the hips at the start because we've been practicing these a bit. So hips, feet are hips width apart. Your heels are on. Your toes are pulling towards your face. Okay, you're gonna drive the heels down and lift your hips up. Now, feel free to lift your hips as high as you'd like or keep them pretty low to the ground. You're still gonna get a lot out of it, whichever option you choose. Now, slide your heels away from you so your knees, they're not gonna straighten by any means, but they move a decent amount away from you. Once you feel your hamstrings, your pelvis comes to the ground and you're gonna drag your heels back towards you. You can have your arms on the ground or off the ground, okay? Having them off is gonna be a little bit more challenging or a little bit more work, but you might feel like you really want them there for extra support, okay? So see what works for you. Your hips come up, we tuck under as best as we can, we slide away, hips down, and then drag the heels in. Great job. Let's do 2 to 3 more with both legs like this. And then we'll just kind of rub behind those hamstrings, kick the heels a bit, make sure there's good blood flow happening. Awesome. And then we'll go right leg first. So your heel is gonna go, again, we're gonna go heel. So heel right on the top, toes are pulling towards your face, okay? Left knee's in towards your chest. We're gonna drive the heel into the slider, lift the hips up. You're gonna slide it away from you. Once you feel that hamstring, hips come down, and then drag your heel back in. And you might notice, like since we've been doing these, you feel like you might be able to get a little further than you have before, maybe not, but go with it and just kind of see what your body wants to do here. And again, you can have your arms on the ground or off the ground. Nice. So hips are up as we slide away, and then hips lower with control as we pull the slider in. Great job. Okay. We're gonna do 2 rounds on each side, so just take a little rest and then maybe just check in behind that right leg. Yep. And then we're switching to the left. So we're having left heel right on the center of your slider, toes pull towards your face, and then go for it. So you drive the heel down, lift those hips up, slide it out, hips come down, and then drag it back in. Stay with your breath. And feel free to use those arms if you need to. Good job. Okay, so take a second, do some butt kicks or just gently rock the low back. Yeah, even just rocking it side to side can be nice. So now we're gonna put the right foot flat on the slider. So that other one biased a lot of dorsiflexion in the ankles. So now it's kind of nice, we're all about exploring the different ranges. One isn't right or wrong. You just want to be able to move in all the ways. So right foot's gonna be flat down. This is gonna bias more plantar flexion in the ankle. So your foot is flat. You're gonna lift those hips up, stay tucked in the pelvis. You're gonna slide out. You might not go as far because you're gonna keep your big toe on the mat, pelvis down, and then drag it in, okay? And you're just noticing in your body what the difference is between this one and the last one, okay? It might be really subtle. Yeah, but you're not gonna go as far probably because you're keeping your ball of your foot on your slider. Nice job. And then we'll shake it out and we'll do that last round of these on the left. We may be feeling our hamstrings tomorrow. Okay, so push it up down into the foot, hips come up, try to stay nice and tucked in the pelvis. You slide away and then you drag it in. Yeah, beautiful. Couple more. Awesome job. And take a rest. Great. So one more time, we'll just gently rock from side to side. You can move the slider out of the way. Great. And then when you're good, you're gonna roll over. We'll make our way into a side plank. I wanna get a little bit of rotation happening in the rib cage. We didn't do too much of that on our back. So you can come onto your right side. I'll mirror you. So right side forearm, knees are stacked. Yep. Now, left hand is gonna come right around the side of the rib cage. Okay, and the knees they're not right in line with the hips, they're just like a little bit below, and then your feet are tucked in behind you. Our body weight isn't all the way in our elbow, it's a little bit more forward into the meat of the forearm. That will be helpful. So hand on the side of the body, and then go ahead and lift those hips up, nice and high. Lift your right side body away from the ground. Okay, you're gonna reach this left hand underneath and rotate your sternum towards the ground. Breathe in. Exhale, you're gonna open your leg and open your arm together. Good. Drop the knee, bring the arm down, rotate, face the mat, breathe in. Exhale, open up. Nice job. See if you can do that a couple more times. Driving the outer edge of that right knee into your mat. Beautiful. And then you can bring your hips down. Just come on into a seat for a moment. Gently rock the head from side to side a bit, or ear to shoulder, maybe swirl it out. Maybe even like flick the fingers a little. That feels good. Yeah. And then you'll come onto the left. So we're on the left forearm. You're going to take your right hand and bring it around the left side body. Stack the knees. Take the feet behind you a bit. You're going to lift your side body up. Really lift those left side ribs up. Great. Now you're going to rotate and thread the needle. So reach your right arm. Take an inhale. And then open up as you breathe out. Your elbow and your knee move together. They come down, rotate, breathe in, open up, breathe out. Beautiful. Nice and slow and controlled. Great job. And then hips can come down. We'll come into a seat. We'll move the head from side to side, look up and down, rotate. Love it. And then we'll make our way on into tabletop. So if you like your knee padding, grab that. We'll do yoga blocks at the top of the mat. And let's go ahead and put palms right on the blocks to start out with. Knees will be under the hips. And then your sits bones are a little bit lifted up. So that doesn't mean we're here, where your belly is like moving way towards the floor and there's a big arch. So just keep that in mind. It's just a little untuck of the pelvis, a little lift of the sits bones, okay? Keep that and then just rock your hips back and forth a few times. Try not to let the tailbone tuck as you go back. So you might not go back as far as you would if you tucked, but that's fine. Beautiful. Now, keep that pelvis position and take your feet wider and then do the same thing. Yeah, so the feet just like moved away from each other, maybe as wide as the mat or almost as wide as the mat. Beautiful. And then you can bring your feet back in line with your knees. We're gonna get into some of our wrist push-ups. So you're gonna walk your hands to the edge of your yoga block. I'm just gonna come close. We're gonna do both at the same time, but I basically just walked my hand right to the edge so that these 4 knuckles are what we're working on. Those 4 knuckles come right to the edge. The thumb is staying out of it, okay? And we're gonna have to have weight in it. I'm gonna have to go there, but we're gonna be dropping the heel of our hand and lifting the heel of our hand with straight elbows. So I recommend starting with your hips a little further back to take some load out of the shoulders. Then you can increase the difficulty from there. So your body weight's in those 4 knuckles, the thumbs are up and out of the way. You let the palm move towards your mat, you push into those 4 knuckles and you lift the heel of your hand up. So it moves towards the ground and then it lifts up and you're pushing through all 4 to 8 of those knuckles at the same time, or any chance. If you want it to be more challenging, just move your shoulders forward and it will increase the load in your forearms. Yeah. So you can kind of decide if by number like 5, it should be like, whoa, this is pretty intense in my forearms. If it doesn't feel like that, shift your shoulders forward and make sure you're not bending your elbows. So the elbows have to stay straight. This is like the calf raise for our forearms. Yeah. So let's do a couple more. And then you just kind of sit back for a moment and you'll just shake out your wrists a little, maybe circle or do some forearm curls, maybe even like rub that area if yours feels a little bit tender. Yeah, really nice. Then we'll go back on our yoga blocks. I'm gonna do a little bit more rotating here, but I want you to extend your left leg straight back first. So you're on the ball of your left foot, your heel is pulsing back and forth a few times so you can get a calf stretch. Then your right hand is gonna go to the edge of your head. So it's like at the edge of your skull and your elbows open. We're going to rotate and tap your right elbow towards your left wrist, then rotate, open, turn away from your left wrist. Rotate, tap elbow to wrist, or move it close to it, it might not touch, then rotate, open. If you want more of a balance challenge, which you absolutely do not need to take, you can lift your back foot an inch. Nice job. We'll bring the right hand down and then glide your left leg out to the side. So your left big toe is in line with your right knee, and then you might need to scoot your right leg further to the right. Then we're just gonna shift our hips back into the right. So they shift over to the right and then back towards your right heel. You're just rocking your hips back and forth a few times. Good. Looking for that left inner thigh stretch. Great. So now you're gonna come off your blocks and come on up like this and take your left foot and bring your left heel in line with your right knee. So my left toes, I'm not mirroring you, I'm doing the same side as you, right? My left toes are turned out, okay? Great. Then I'm gonna bring my left arm inside my left inner thigh, tuck my pelvis a little bit, so belt buckle towards face, arm goes out in line with your shoulder, and you're gonna glide. So when I say glide, I mean this left arm is gliding down the inner thigh as my left knee goes forward towards my second toe, and then I come back up, okay? So the arm just glides down the inner thigh towards the ground, the knee tracks straight ahead towards the second toe. Good. You're also gently driving your arm and your leg into each other. On this next one, you're gonna go forward and pause. Reach your right arm alongside your right ear. We'll take like 3 breaths here. Should be a good inner thigh stretch. And then slowly come out of it, okay? And then what you can do is take your left leg right back in line with your right knee. You can stick your hands back on the yoga blocks. We'll pick the leg up and bring it back behind us and bring it in. Toes are tucked. Take a breath in and push away from your yoga blocks. Exhale, lift your knees an inch off the ground. Inhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Exhale, knee hover. Breathe in, your hips are going up and back to the left. So your body weight shifts into your left foot. Your left hip is reaching back, and then exhale to center. And then inhale up and back to the right, body weight in the right foot, shifting into that right hip. And then exhale, bring your knees all the way down. Great. Now extend your right leg straight back. You're on the ball of the foot. We're pulsing the heel, looking for a bit of a calf stretch. And then left hand is gonna go to the edge of the head, push away from the yoga block on the right. You're rotating elbow towards wrist, left elbow towards right wrist, then rotating away from right arm. Elbow towards wrist, then rotate away. Now, if you want the balance challenge, you lift your back leg a little bit. You don't have to. That requires a lot more core work. Or not core work, it requires a lot more core stability to keep your balance and keep that leg lifted. Good, let's do one more. And then left hand comes down. We're gonna bring your right leg out to the side. Your right toes are facing straight ahead. They're in line with your left knee, and then you're walking your left knee to the left of it. You're shifting your hips back into the left towards that left heel. And we're looking for that right inner thigh stretch, just gentle. Just a gentle stretch there. Nice job. Great, and so then we'll come off the blocks. You're gonna bend your right knee and turn your right toes away from you. So my right heel is in line with my left knee. Okay, make sure you adjust your knee padding if you need it. And then your arm is going, the back of the forearm is going inside the right inner thigh, and the left arm's in line with your shoulder. You're gonna glide the arm down the inner thigh as your knee drives forward, and then you're just pulling yourself back up. So make sure you don't lose heel contact with your right heel. We're not going that far. Good. And then on the next knee drive, don't go too far, but just a little bit. Let the arm glide down, and then extend your left arm alongside your left ear. Drive your arm and your leg into each other. Take a few breaths. Awesome. And then we'll make our way on up. And you can bring your hands right back to the yoga blocks. You're gonna take that right leg back out to a straightened knee, lift it up, behind you, and then all the way in to meet your left. Awesome. So tuck toes, push away from the yoga blocks as you breathe in. Exhale, lift the knees, and then inhale back into your downward facing dog, and then just pedal the feet, walk the dog out. You can straighten one knee and then the other. Shake the head yes and no, just relaxing the face and the neck. And then we'll walk the hands off our yoga blocks and walk our hands all the way back to our feet at the back of the mat. Soften your knees or bend those knees a lot. Round your low back and mid back and start to roll up. And then we'll sway the body from one side to the other. So very ragdoll-ish. Okay, so you're relaxed in the arms, you're relaxed in the head and the neck and the face, and you're just rotating your body around one leg, always feeling free to linger in any angles that feel good, like they need this bit of a stretch here. And then we'll come to center and roll all the way up. Nice job. And then once we arrive, just take a moment, shift the body weight from side to side, load the body over the left and then over the right. Take a second, notice how you're feeling. And then we'll even out the weight between the feet. And the knees are a little bit soft, not locked. And then arms are gonna reach all the way up. We're grabbing onto the left wrist today with the right hand tugging up towards the ceiling and then side bending over to your right. So keep pulling your left wrist to the right and shift your hips to the left. And then pull yourself up to center. So we'll do two more. We'll do three on each. So you tug up and then side bend right and then shift your hips to the left and then use your side body to pull yourself up. Beautiful. We'll do one more. And then you can grab your right wrist, tug up, and then side bend over to the left and shift your hips to the right. Pull yourself up. So we're just looking for some nice length through the side of the body, staying active through the belly muscles. 3 times to the left. Beautiful. And then soften the knees a lot and take your hands behind your head. Okay, so hands go behind head, open the elbows nice and wide. Soften the knees a little more. Good. Shift your body weight into the balls of the feet. Let your shoulders melt and move away from your ears a bit. Okay, so they're not hiked up towards the ears. And then start to shift your hips forward. So you can still have your heels down, but you want your pelvis to go forward. Tilt your belt buckle towards your face and then look up towards the ceiling. So you're turning your belly button and your sternum up towards the ceiling. The head is relaxed in the hands, looking for a stretch through the abdomen. Think of the shoulder blades spreading away from each other. And then body weight shifts back into heels, arms reach up, and then control the arms all the way down. Nice job. And then let's swirl it out a little bit here. So take your feet wider, and then your arms are wrapping around your body. And when you go to the left, you shift your body weight to the left foot. When you rotate to the right, you shift your body weight over your right foot. Yeah, and just totally let the arms relax. Awesome. Okay, so now a little bit of lower body work. So feet are hips width apart. Yep, we're gonna go, yeah, we'll shift into a chair squat from here. So you can keep your elbows next to you and then just bend knees and sit your butt back, okay? So everyone's exact angles will be a little different, but somewhere that works for you. Feet are facing straight ahead, butt back, knees forward, okay? Now shift your body weight over to your left foot and then over to your right foot. So we're revisiting our weight shift in our squat and to see what that feels like for you. Now we're gonna go over to the left first. So body weight's in the left foot, okay? you're gonna pick up your right foot and extend your leg behind you and tap your right toe on the ground. So I'm loaded over my left thigh, my left knee is bent, my right toe is behind me, my right knee is straight. Okay, good. Then I'm just gonna bring that in and tap it to the center. So if this was behind me at 6 o'clock, then I'm gonna tap my toe next to me and I'm gonna tap it out to the side, and that would be 3 o'clock. And then tap it next to me, and then tap it to 12 o'clock. The whole time my arms are just by my sides. And then I'll go back to 3 and center, and then back behind me and center. Okay, so you're always stopping at 3 o'clock, or going to 3 o'clock in between, and you'll go 12, 3, 6, and you want to try to keep your body as loaded over this left leg as possible. Body weight in the left heel and the ball of the foot. Arms are in by the sides. Good, and you're just, like I said, you're relying on this left leg as much as possible. Should start to burn a bit. Beautiful. Now bring the right foot down next to the left. See if we can stay in it. So it's going to be a little tricky, but we're going to try to now shift the body weight from side to side. If you feel like you need to stand up for a second, so go for it. And then we're going to shift our body weight all the way over to the right. Okay, so butt back, knee bent. Right? You're going to pick up the left foot, take it behind you to 12 or 6. 6 right behind you, and then tap it to center, and then out to the side. That would be 9, and then center, and then in front to 12. Good. So you might notice that one leg felt easier than the other. Maybe not. Usually we have an easier time balancing on one side. Good job. So stay as loaded in the standing leg as possible, and as light on your other leg as possible. Great job. Connected to the core. And then once you're good, we'll bring the left foot in to meet the right, and then we'll stand all the way up, and then we'll revisit our swirling it out one more time. Nice job. Really nice job. Okay, and then we're just gonna look up and down and round your upper back, your mid back, your low back. Take your time. We're going to roll all the way down. Bring your hands to your mat, and now walk your hands all the way out to your yoga blocks till you're in a high plank. And then hike your hips up, walk your hands off your blocks, and walk all the way back to your feet. Bend the knees, round the spine, roll it on up. So we're gonna do it a total of 3 times. Let's get the arms moving a little too. So reach the arms up alongside the ears, and then float the arms down. Drop the chin to the chest, round upper back. Think about like each part of the spine, upper back, mid back, lower back. Knees bending forward, walking the hands out. We can climb up on the blocks. Find the high plank. Pause in the high plank for a moment. Hike the hips up. Step off the block. Just be mindful of the blocks not slipping. Hands walk back to the feet. Bend those knees. And then segmentally rolling up. Sweep the arms up. And then bring the arms down. And we'll round upper back, mid back, low back. Everything gets to flex. Hips, knees bend, and then walk forward, back into plank, and then knees are gonna control to the mat. And then just find a child's pose that would feel good right now. You could keep the arms out, stretched in front of you on the blocks, and round through your upper back, gently pressing hands down. It'll give you like an armpit shoulder stretch. If you'd rather just make a pillow for your forehead, you can go that route. And then either total stillness or gentle rocking side to side. Both can be very soothing for the nervous system. So just trying to notice what feels good to you today. Let the breath flow. Body can be calm for a moment. And then we'll come on up and climb back up on our blocks. Tuck toes. Send hips up and back to your downward facing dog. Awesome. From there, bring your feet next to each other or almost touching and reach your left leg all the way up and back. Then turn your left hip completely open so your whole pelvis turns away from your right leg, and then turn your pelvis towards your right leg. Go for that 3 times. Turn the whole pelvis away from right leg, then towards the right leg. Yeah, hip, knees, and toes, turn out, and then in. Great. And then we're gonna step it forward right in between the hands and shift your yoga blocks up to the highest height. Awesome. Adjust your feet so we're on train tracks, and you might need to walk your back foot in a little bit, but your back heel is up, your back leg is straight, and then your front knee is bent. And we're gonna lift the torso and load the torso over this left thigh. Yeah, okay. And then from here, just bend your front knee a little bit more. Back leg straight, bend that front knee a little bit more. And then lift your left heel up and down. Yeah, lift the left heel up and down, and just see what that feels like for you. You're trying to think about spreading your 5 toes apart. That's gonna widen the transverse arch of the foot. It might even help you with balance. And that's the movement, just the heel up and down, okay? Torso's loaded forward over this front leg. Just the left heel up and down. Nice job. Okay, so from there, you're gonna leave the heel up. Gonna be a little bit tricky. Reach the right arm forward, left arm back. Turn your sternum a little towards your left leg. So I'm a little rotated. Keep your left heel lifted and just bend your back knee a bit and then straighten it. Bend the back knee a bit, straighten it. Try to keep that left heel up the whole time. If it's too much in your calf, drop it down. Good, yeah, it can be a burn. This is no joke. Good, 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 good. Okay, then we'll drop the left heel down and windmill the arms open to our warrior 2. Let's relax the arms down for a second, just bend and straighten this. Yeah, that can be a lot. It's a co-contraction, so it's the calf, the glute, the hamstring, the quad, all the leg muscles are co-contracting together. That's why it's like, whoa, what's happening? But it's good for our joints. Okay, so you're gonna bend into your left knee, back leg straight, warrior 2. Find your hip bones relatively level. Arms are gonna go out in a T. Good. Now, side bend over this left thigh. Reach for something with your left arm, your left hand, and then drop left arm inside left inner thigh. Reach right arm up. Great. From here, you're gonna bend your left knee forward more. So drive the knee forward. Extend your right arm alongside your right ear. Keep your left knee where it is. Reverse your warrior. Your right hand reaches down towards your right foot. Find length, length, length through the left side body. Bring your arms back here, and then we'll straighten that left knee. Rebend the left knee. Good. Reach for something with the left hand first, side bend. Then drop left hand inside left inner thigh. Right arm up. Then right arm over the ear. Then bend your left knee straight ahead. Keep the left knee where it is. Reverse it. Right hand reaches towards right foot. Big stretch for the left side body. Arms come back up. Then we straighten the left leg. Very nice. Let's do one more. Bend the knee just over the heel at first. Then you reach for something with this left hand, drop the elbow inside the inner thigh, reach the right arm alongside the right ear, then bend the knee, keep the knee where it is, reverse your warrior, reach, and then come to center, straighten the knee. Beautiful. You can rebend the knee and windmill the arms all the way down to your yoga blocks. So now we're facing the mat, and you're gonna bring your right knee in towards your chest. Right knee in towards your chest. Awesome. So now we're gonna go reaching your right leg straight back. So my left knee is straight, it's not locked, but it's straight, and my right leg is straight behind me. And then I'm just gonna angle my right foot. So reach my right foot at a diagonal towards my left, and then take my right leg as far to the right as I can manage. And then bring that right leg as far back to the left as I can. And then bring the right leg all the way to the right. Yeah, and the whole time you're just stationary or static over your left leg. Great job. We'll do one more. Yeah, the leg just moves all the way to the right and then all the way back to the left. Great. That's it. And then the right foot comes down, the right heel's up. Take one of your yoga blocks, either one, and just put it the flat way on your mat. And then you're gonna roll all the way up. You could also stand up and then just adjust your yoga block, but if you were able to do that, that's good too. So now one of the blocks is completely flat on your mat, and we're gonna put our left foot on the block. Our left foot on the block. So if anything's off of the block, it's gonna be your toes. You want to make sure that your heel is supported on the block. Okay, we're gonna be doing some lunges here, some front foot elevated lunges. So your back foot is a few steps behind and the toes are facing straight ahead. Okay, you're gonna soften both knees to start. The idea is to keep the rib cage and the pelvis stacked. Some of you who tend to feel like you grip your toes, you know that's you, then you might wanna actually dangle your toes off the front of the block. Just make sure the ball of your foot stays on the block regardless. If you don't think you're a toe gripper, feel free to leave them just flat on the block, okay? So now from here, arms are reaching forward and you're pulling your shoulder blades apart. We're gonna work on going straight down, nice and controlled, and then straight up, okay? So your chest is lifted and your ribs are pulled back, and the idea is to work on straight down or straight up. It's very tempting to like lean forward like this, or in an attempt to stay straight up, to shift your hips forward like that. We're trying to avoid all that, but this is not easy to really get, okay? But it's gonna be a lot of left glute, right quad, and you might also feel left quad too. That's totally fine. But if you feel a lot of right quad, don't worry. It's part of it. Good. So how stacked can we get? Rib cage over pelvis. The block helps get our center of mass shifting backwards. Good. Perfect. Let's do one more. And then you can drop your back heel, come off the yoga block, step your left foot on the ground. Okay, and then we're just gonna do some dynamic lunges here. So we'll start at the top. You're gonna soften both knees and lift both heels. Reach both arms up now. And we're just gonna drop straight down into our lunge, drop your front heel. So your front heel's up, you sink and drop your front heel down. Your back heel stays lifted the whole time. So you're up and you're sinking. Up, sinking. Nice job. Yeah, and we're doing our best to still stay upright. Perfect. Reach the arms up, swan dive forward, arms wide. Step that right leg back, Okay, drive your hands into your mat, reach your left leg all the way up, then just rock forward, drop the foot, and you can bring your knees down or just go right from a high plank. We're gonna lower all the way down onto our belly. Make a nice pillow for your head with your hands, bend those knees, gently sway the legs from side to side. Let all that work go, relax for a moment. Really, really nice. Yeah, that was a lot. Okay, so we're gonna keep working on our hamstring curls here. We've done it the last couple of weeks. Let's go. Let's go. Like forehead can stay on your hand, so you're gonna make a pillow for your forehead, and we're gonna keep like the upper body out of it for right now. And then I think we'll progress it afterwards, but I just want you to get the lower body piece. And let's go one at a time. Yeah. So you're gonna keep your forehead on on the backs of your hands. Lift your left leg up. So your left hip bone stays on the ground. We're gonna point the toes. So plantar flex the ankle, point the toes. The hip stays down, but lift your left knee and your left foot. Okay. So that's with your hamstring. We're lifting it. Now, keep your knee lifted and curl your heel all the way towards your butt. And keep curling, keep curling. Get that heel to come as close to your butt as you can. You might have to really pull it. And you might need to intentionally actually relax your left glute to make it happen. And then keep your knee lifted and extend your leg. So see if you can do that 5 times. Try to keep that knee up, curl your heel to your butt, pull, 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 pull as much as you can, and then uncurl. We'll do 5 on the left. Good. Yeah, once you pull that heel in, it's like you pause and you try to get it even closer. It might involve relaxing your left butt cheek, perhaps. Good. One more. And then you can go ahead, relax that left leg down and just kind of dance the hips from side to side a bit, shake it out. Great. Okay, so now we'll go for the same thing on the right. So the hip stays down, the leg lifts. You're curling your heel to your butt. Once you get there, pull, pull, pull more, then extend the leg. And we're just going right into the next one. So we're keeping the knee lifted the whole time. Pull the heel. And like your glute is definitely working. Like our hamstring and our glute are the muscles to make this happen, but sometimes like the glute fully takes over and you can't get the hamstring. So that's what I mean when I say it's possible. You have to kind of mind body connect to the glute and invite it to relax a little bit so you can get into the hamstring. And also if you're like, I'm not quite sure, I'm not feeling it, don't worry, because this definitely takes a little bit of time to get sometimes. Good. Okay. And then relax. Okay. And then dance the hips. So now what we'll do is we're going to go, we're going to add the upper body. So the elbows are going to be pulling and we're going to do both legs at the same time. So everything lifts, arms, legs, chest, and head, everything up. Your palms are facing each other. Point the toes. Try to get the knees up a little higher. You're going to curl your heels to your butt as you pull your elbows next to your ribs. Pause and pull, 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 curl, curl, curl. And then extend everything forward. Reach your fingers and your toes away from each other. Lift the body up and then pull everything in, or curl everything in is the word. And then slowly extend. Nice job. Gaze is right down at the mat. Face is relaxed. and then go ahead, relax the body, make a pillow for the forehead, bend those knees, gently sway the legs from side to side. Great job. Super, super good. And then we're gonna tuck the toes. Okay, knees can be down. You're gonna plant your palms next to your chest, knee push up all the way up, and then just rock those hips back and forth a few times, and feel free to rock them back to different angles. Get into the hips a little bit. And we'll crawl back up on our blocks. Tuck toes and the hips up and back to your downward facing dog. And then feet walk next to each other or touching, right leg up. And then rotating that pelvis away from your left leg, rotating the pelvis towards the left leg. Your left knee stays facing straight ahead the whole time. 3 times. And then we're rocking forward, stepping that right foot forward in between the hands, moving the blocks up to the highest height, adjusting your feet to make sure they're on train tracks, front knee bent, back knee straight, and then trunk is lifting up. And we're shifting our body weight mostly into the front leg, and our trunk is loaded over our front thigh. And then we're just doing heel raises here. So the heel is lifting up and down. You can think about spreading your 5 toes out. It's just gonna lengthen or widen the transverse arch of your foot. And then the heel is lifting up and down. Great job. So then keep the heel lifted if you can. If it was too much, feel free to keep it down. You're gonna reach your left arm forward, your right arm back, and turn your sternum a little to the right. And then with that right heel up, unless it's too much, which is totally fine, you're gonna bend your back knee and straighten your back knee. A little bit of a lunge. Nice job. And then we'll drop the heel down. We'll windmill the arms open. Find your warrior 2. Let's bend and straighten this knee a few times. Beautiful job. So then your pelvis is more or less level. Arms are out in a T. You're reaching for something with this right hand, side bending over your right leg, dropping right elbow inside right inner thigh, left arm up, left arm alongside left ear, knee drive, keep the knee where it is as you reverse your warrior, big stretch, and then body center, and then we'll straighten the knee for a moment, okay? So then you bend the knee, the knee is just over the heel to start, reach for something, drop the arm, left arm over left ear, then knee drive, keep the knee forward as you reverse the warrior, arguably the hardest part, and then back to center, and then straighten that front knee. So we got one more, okay? So knee bend, side bend and reach, elbow into inner thigh, left arm alongside left ear, knee drive, keep that knee where it is, reverse it, back to center, and then straighten the knee. Great, so soften the knee, windmill the arms, find those yoga blocks. You're gonna pivot onto the ball of the left foot and then bring your left knee into your chest. So your right leg is straight, but not fully locked. You're extending your left leg behind you. Now, we're doing our best to keep it up, but if you need to lower yours, it's not a big deal, okay? Then you're gonna cross it behind you to the right, and then open it all the way up as far as it'll go to the left. Keep your core active as you move the leg. This is actually requires a lot of core stability and awareness. Right leg strength and then hip mobility for sure on the left, but it's kind of coming from the core. Nice job. And then you can put your ball of your left foot down put one of your yoga blocks down on the flat height and then come off and roll up. Super good. Take a sec. Okay, no rush. We're gonna plant that right foot on our block. Now you have an idea if you want to dangle the toes off the front or if you want to keep them on the block. We just don't want our toes to be gripping. Everyone's different. Sometimes dangling the toes makes them grip more. So just be aware, we just want the toes to be relaxed, okay? No matter what, your heel is on the block. Left foot is back, left heel is up, both knees are soft, arms are in front of us. We're working on going straight down and straight up, okay? Straight down, straight up, just like an elevator. Nice job. Good. And then we'll step off the block to move it out of the way. You're gonna go back into that same stance, but now lift your front heel, soften the knees and reach the arms up. And you're gonna try to stay upright, but sink into your lunge at the bottom, drop your heel. So the heel's up and the heel drops. The heel comes up, the heel drops down. Very nice. Yeah, sinking into it. Awesome. And then we'll just come on up, reach arms up, swan dive forward, hips back, plant those palms, step the left foot back, drive your hands through your mat, reach the right leg up one time, then bring it down and lower the knees all the way to the mat. Untuck the toes, and we'll do our sit and shift. So you're gonna sit your hips back towards your heels as much as the ankles and knees allow, and then start to shift your hips from one side to the other. And we're looking for a bit of a side bend here as you move. So like I shift my hips to the left and I'm side bending to my right, opening up my left side. Then I'm shifting my hips to my right and I'm side bending to my left. If you want, and your ankles and knees are happy about it, you can take your hands to your chest and shift side to side here. And then we'll pick one side and bring the hips down, hands come behind us and take the legs out in front of you. And we're gonna give them a really nice shake out on the mat. Yeah, just bounce. You can think of it as a shake or a bounce. The legs up and down. Super good for the cells, literally. They just need some motion, you know? And then we're gonna crawl forward to one end of the mat. We'll round the spine and then start to rock and roll up and down the length of the mat. Just go for any variation you're feeling right now. If you like adding a reach up, you can do that. Or if you like adding like a reach and a rotation, you can do that. Or you can just keep it simple and just keep it like front to back, up and down. And now notice if any areas are clunky today, see if you can round your spine extra through those spots. And sometimes I don't think it's the same every time with these. Like some days you might feel smoother than others. So if it is feeling clunky, just add your blanket behind you. Nice job. Okay, so then we're in a seat. We're going to do some seated cat-cows. Hands come onto the front of the shins. Heels drag back towards butt as you pull yourself up. So meaning you pull your sternum up so your spine comes into some extension. You're sitting up nice and tall. Yeah. Then you drop your sternum, round your upper back. Your feet don't move, but they kind of orient away from you. And then we're pulling ourselves back up. So for breathing, we want to breathe in when we're rounded so that we can expand into our back. And then breathe out as you pull up into extension. Nice job. Try to keep all 10 toes on the ground and try to notice your sits bones on the ground. Do you have equal weight in both, or do you feel like you're heavier on one versus the other? All good things to notice and good things to bring our awareness to. Nice. So now the next time you round your spine, you can keep rounding it and start to roll all the way back, but I want you to take as long as possible. So that might be like really slow, right? We're decelerating here. Definitely going to get into the abs. Feet stay on the ground. Keep reaching those arms forward. How slow can you lower? Nice job. Beautiful. And then we'll re-arrive on our back. Feel free to just kind of plop down. Notice how your body's feeling at this point. All that work. And we'll go with yoga block underneath the pelvis. You can push into the feet, lift those hips up, and let the pelvis be heavy on the block. And then even then, just take a second. Notice what it feels like to have your pelvis elevated and supported. If you can soften the belly now. Maybe gently rock the head from side to side, relax the face. And then we'll go both legs up. You can always scooch anyway on the block to make sure that it feels flat and nothing's digging in. And then just gently rocking those legs from side to side. And then let's move the legs in any way you could think of. So another way to think of it is like if you had markers or colored pencils or something on your toes, you're just drawing something in space, but you can lift, lower, open, close, internally rotate, externally rotate, bicycle. Yeah, like move the hips in any shape you could think of. You can bring a foot down, knee into chest. You're just drawing something in space. The legs can be doing different things. You could figure eight them. So we just get the hips to move in a variety of angles that they don't. Yeah, crossing one leg in front of the other can be great. Not forcing anything, right? But just getting some motion there. Beautiful. And then we'll go feet down and slide the block out. And we'll go, let's do left ankle over right thigh. Left knee drives away from you and then right foot lifts up, and then we'll rock from side to side. So we'll do the figure four up like this. Yeah, and then after a few side to side rocks, let your legs go all the way to the right. And I want your feet and knee to touch something. So whether it's your block or the ground, whatever is more comfortable. And then whether your left shoulder could have lifted up or it could have stayed on the ground. Either way, just keep driving your left knee away from your face and just keep reaching your left hand to the left. So it's like you're lengthening this left arm. Yeah, so you can have the legs on the ground or a block. The left shoulder could be up or down. And then you're just reaching that left hand away from you. Few breaths, and then we'll come up, we'll uncross. Left foot down, right ankle over left thigh. Right knee moves away from you. Left foot lifts up. Drive the right knee away from your face. And then we'll gently rock the low back from side to side here. And then you'll let your legs go all the way to the left. Now you can go yoga block or ground. Keep driving your right knee away from you so you get that stretch, and then just reach your right hand in the op to the right. So just looking for that length through that right arm. Few breaths. And we'll come through center, and feel free to find like a happy baby or any other shape, position, or adjustment that would feel good to you. Help your practice feel complete. You roll around, stretch, wiggle, move in any way that would help. And then settle into a position that feels completely comfortable for you. Grab any props or blankets or eye coverings that you like. Inviting the body to get nice and heavy. Transitioning to nasal breathing only if you haven't already. So in through the nose, out through the nose, slowing the breath down. Taking a few moments to just be. You can always feel free to stay here and rest as long as you like. Otherwise, we're gonna wiggle fingers and toes, circle the wrists and ankles a few times. You can full body stretch. Knees into chest. Roll around a bit. And we'll roll over onto one side and come into a comfortable seat. And we'll reach the arms up, grow nice and tall, reach a little further and bring the hands together and down through heart center. We'll bow forward in gratitude for practicing together this morning. Thank you. It's great to see everyone. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you Sunday.